All right, Shalom. I want to start off, man, as always, by giving all praises and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Chakadash. The bonus unto the apostles, the elders, and the bishops of Great Millstone. I want to send much love to the brothers out there doing this work in truth and sincerity. And also want to send peace and blessings unto the believers of the hopeful elect. And in this late night lesson, I wanted to play a small portion of this video here, which is a podcast interview that Tucker Carlson did with Catherine Fix. And as you can see, the title of his video reads, Catherine Fix, Epstein, CIA, Black Budget, the Control Grid, and the bank's role in war. Now, the portion of the video that I'm going to talk about here is the Control Grid, which is ultimately the MOTB and the MOTB system that will be put into place according to biblical prophecy. Now, we see that the world is tuning in to the situation that's going on with the U.S. and Iran and the small hats and the bombings and the killings. It's a lot happening, all right? And a lot of people think that World War III is going to start, as in, nuclear missiles are going to fly tomorrow. But that's not the case. Now, these are stepping stones to World War III and these major nations getting involved, like Russia and China, okay, against the U.S. and NATO and their allies, right? But the Most High not going to allow it to get to that point yet, because the MOTB prophecy has to be fulfilled. And this understanding that we have, man, gives us an advantage over the world, because the world doesn't understand biblical prophecy. And they don't understand the order of prophecy, okay? The MOTB has to come first before the war of Armageddon starts, okay? In the sense that nuclear missiles are going to fly off. So in these first couple of minutes here, she's going to speak about the control grid. And I'll play it and just highlight it, points I want to highlight. And I'll come back with the same video on a Thursday Live, Lord willing. Because this whole video is fire, okay? And each section is a lesson within itself, all right? But I want to deal with the control grid portion of this video, and I pray that it is edifying. So make sure my audio here is good. Okay, here we go.
But last time we had lunch a couple months ago, you were telling me about, and I wish we had this on tape, maybe we can recreate it here, about the control grid, a concept that you had explained when we last did an interview, and how it was, as you said at lunch, snapping into place. Can you just, for people who haven't seen your previous talk, explain what the control grid is, what it looks like, and what it means?
So the control grid is a process or an infrastructure that allows digital technology to be used to assert phenomenal surveillance and control of people.
Yes.
And at the very heart of it is what I call programmable money. So it's money that is no longer just a currency. It's money that comes with a set of rules that can be surveilled and forced. So
that will ultimately be the MOTB. Okay? The MOTB will be programmable money, essentially, right? They're going to put it in your chip, and you can buy and sell with that digital currency, okay? And in order for them to track and trace you, ultimately, it's going to be, hey, look, put this in your body. Take this, okay? That's what she's saying, the MOTB, but she don't understand that prophecy. We do. That has to come to pass first, brothers and sisters out there, before the war of Armageddon. The world don't understand this. We do. So she's going into the control grid and telling you the center, the core of it, right? Of the control grid. And that's the MOTB. She's telling you without telling you. Okay? Look, bro, we understand the prophecy of the MOTB, man, that has to come to pass first. So here we go.
Criminal surveillance and control of people.
Yes.
And at the very heart of it is what I call programmable money. So it's money that is no longer just a currency. It's money that comes with a set of rules that can be surveilled and forced. So imagine back in the pandemic, if your money, if I said, okay, you've got a lockdown and your money won't work if you leave your house. You can't buy gas in your car because your money is programmed with AI and software to enforce a whole set of centralized rules. And programmable money allows the bankers who've been running monetary policy to now control fiscal policy and essentially replace legislatures and executive branch by making and enforcing the rules through the money. Now that requires a large infrastructure.
Right. And the rules gonna be, if you ain't got no MOTB, you can't buy or sell. And then with that, once you get the MOTB, it's gonna be rules and regulations with that. This is Bible prophecy, people. Okay? But you got everybody now want to talk about the Bible. They want to talk about the Israelites. Hey, you people going to find out the hard way, man. You're going to find out the hard way. Okay? Scoffing against the Israelites and making parody videos and whatever, or making TikToks. Say what you're going to say. Get it off your chest. Right? But we're heading into some very, very serious times. Serious biblical times, man. And the world is confused. Okay? The people are confused about what's happening in the world, what's going on, right? They have no clue. And guess what? The prophets do. The believers do. And we understand that you scoffers and mockers will meet your judgment. You will get your just due for being simple. Okay? 2/3 Jakes who refuse to repent. The Most High going to address you, man. He's going to use Esau, artificial intelligence, robotics, to bring hell on the world. This is serious, man. And she's going into it. Okay?
Of surveillance. So you need digital IDs, and then you need the hardware locally and globally to do the surveillance and implementation. So for example, if you look at the local hardware, and now people are seeing it, now that it's material, they're beginning to see it snap into place. So I don't know if you know flock cameras, but there are many communities across the United States that are entering into contracts paid by the taxpayers to put up cameras all around their neighborhood that track license plates and keep that data and share it with a variety of people. Or you have the FCC is trying to overrule local controls on cell towers, so they can literally put cell towers every 400 to 700 feet so that they can have the kind of invasive surveillance you need. Or you have satellites now that can literally beam in Wi-Fi so that whether you have Wi-Fi in your home or not, they can start to track you. And all those systems put you in what I call the panopticon. So we saw in the Middle East with the first war with Iran, we saw 11 leaders out of 12 sort of top leaders in science and government assassinated because they're literally tracking everyone, and they can identify them and track them. And then you have invisible weaponry that can then take them out, or, can identify missile strikes. So
right, and the small hats, okay, they're using Palantir and artificial intelligence to locate these different Arab leaders and taking them out, right? Because you always wonder, like, how the hell they find these people? How do they locate them underground in tunnels and know exactly where to strike at the precise time to take these people out? Just like recently, the leader of Iran, right? They got him using Palantir, artificial intelligence, surveillance, tracking and tracing, hitting these people exactly at the right time and unaliving them, bro. These devils got this technology, man, and it's giving them the advantage in war. Okay? But ultimately, it's going to lead to their downfall. But she's going in.
Oh,
Let me ask you about, so you're talking about the 12-day war against Iran in June of 2025.
correct.
We were led to believe, just as newspaper readers or news consumers, that those 11 Iranian officials were targeted with human intelligence, that Israel had spies inside of Iran, but you're saying that was done digitally.
That's probably, I would assume that that's probably true, because you always want to get human confirmation of what the systems are telling you. It's always better if you have both. But we are now moving into building out the kind of surveillance systems that can literally track, identify, and integrate with not only our existing weaponry, but ultimately autonomous weaponry. So anyway, so let me step back. You've got three parts to the control grid. One is the local hardware and infrastructure, and that includes the data centers. Because
The data, I thought those were for AI.
They are. Because if you look at what it takes to apply the equivalent of a social credit system to people's money, so the social credit system I apply to you is different than the one I apply to me. And if you look at the data I need to track you and test whether or not you're following the rules I've given you and enforce.
It's so easy to become a podcaster with Riverside. First, go to Riverside and open an account. When you're ready to record,
Those rules, it's an explosive amount of data, particularly because you're looking not just at financial control, but spatial control. So what is AI good at, Tucker? AI is
spatial control, movement control.
Yeah. So turn off the car. So Congressman Massey is trying to kill the kill switch in your car. That's because spatial control means I can turn off your car.
Now, she mentioned the data centers, right? And how they're needed for surveillance and digital ID, but also other things, with Grok and, Chat GPT. But it's more than Grok and Chat GPT, man. It's going to be for mass surveillance, for digital currencies, right? For AI-powered cameras and drones, feeding them data in real time, okay? Like in China. This is where we're heading, brothers and sisters, all right? The closer we get to the end, the more will be revealed. Okay, but you can get down watching this whole video here if you want. But she's going there. I mean, she's covering a lot of things, okay? A lot of biblical things, right? But my point going into this here is that the control grid, right, the MOTB and the MOTB system pretty much has to be in place, has to be established before World War III happens, all right? Now I forget this precept here and close out. This Isaiah 55:10. Fast the rain coming down, and the snow from heaven, and returning not thither, but watered the earth, and maketh it bring forth in bud, that it may give seed to the sower and bread to the eater. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereunto I sent it. So the MOTB prophecy isn't just some, random thing, man. That's a major, major prophecy that plays a part in end times. Once that is in place and people are being chipped and everything, then you can definitely look for the missiles to fly. Okay? But they got to happen first before the missiles fly. So I just wanted to make that point. I pray that was edifying. Shalom.